Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video idea I've seen recently go around. It is my makeup collection if I wasn't a beauty guru. And I don't call myself that, YouTuber, whatever. And I just thought it was a really fun idea to do. Though I want to disclaimer this video because you're gonna see a very curated collection, but in all honesty, if I wasn't a beauty guru, I'd still have a pretty big collection. I seen Jamie Page recently start it, Samantha March did it I think a year ago, similar idea, if not the same. I'll leave both their channels down below to go check out as I'm not sure who to credit for this. I've had a lot of requests to do this, but I just wanted to put it out there that even though what I'm gonna show you is my curated collection, my collection would still be quite large, even if I didn't do YouTube. I just love makeup, so this is just my curated collection. I understand the whole concept behind it, that it would be less, so I wanted to show you the best of the best in this video. I was also watching other people's videos, and I seen in the comments some people complain that there's a lot of high-end and not enough drugstore, so I actually wanted to do, in each category, one high-end, one drugstore. So you get the best of both worlds depending on budget. You're gonna see the best of the best for me, what my makeup collection would look like if I wasn't a beauty guru, or just a very limited collection for me. Like this here still would be more, but for the sake of the video, I wanted to do the best of the best, one product per category, high-end and drugstore, so that you guys can get a feel for what my collection might look like if I never got into YouTube. It would be less, but not like this. I hope I explained it properly. I just love makeup, and we can't sit here that long to show you everything that I feel like I would have. So with all that being said, I'm sure you're here to see what the best of the best for me is, and I hope you appreciate that I included both high-end and drugstore in this video and tried to limit it down best to one per category. I think I did a pretty good job. The only category that I kind of messed up on is highlight, but I'm hoping by the time I get to that, I can sort my stuff out, you know, and get it down to one. So let's go in just how I do my makeup, which I start with brows. This is actually a very recent find for me, and I've seen a bunch of TikTok hacks use this. A couple other YouTubers show this in the video, and I got this over a month ago at this point now, but it is to hold down my brows. I've tried soap, I've tried various brow gels, and if I were to pick honestly one, even over high end at this point, this is what I would pick. And the product that I am absolutely loving right now is the Got2b Glued Spiking Glue. And this is the #1 styling glue in Canada, apparently. And it is a water-resistant formula. You're supposed to use this for your hair, but I've seen so many people use this as a brow gel. And oh my goodness, does this ever glue down your hairs. And it doesn't leave any kind of white flakes, any kind of weird cast on your brows. It holds them down. And it is also water resistant, which is amazing. So this glue, hair gel, is what I've been using on my brows, and I got this huge thing for $5, and it's gonna last me forever. And my high-end version, it just can't compare. Like this, how much is it? In the 30s? For the Benefit 24-Hour Brow Setter. If I want a traditional brow gel that holds it down, I use this. The only thing you need with the Got2b one is a spoolie. So if you like that kind of feather brow effect where you totally slick down your brow hairs, I would recommend getting this. $5 on Amazon, just need a spoolie for it. It's gonna last you forever. Better than even the Benefit one, water resistant, you can't go wrong. The best hack I've found on TikTok, if for some reason you don't want to go that route and you just want a traditional brow gel from the drugstore, I love the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Boost and Set. This is the clear formula. They also have colored ones, but the brush on this is super small and amazing, and it does a great job at flattening down the brows as well. But honestly, the amount of product you get in here versus the Got2b, just go with the other. And then for my brow pencil, shocking, my Urban Decay Brow Blade for my high end. And if I had to pick one for drugstore, I would go with my NYX Micro Brow in Ash Brown. I've used this forever. I have backups of this if I just want a simple drugstore brow. It's super small, has a spoolie on it. Have this product, you don't even need to go buy a spoolie if you have something like this. So that is a great drugstore brow product. However, I really like the Urban Decay, and I would spend the money on it because it comes with the brow pencil and the brow blade, which essentially is just this felt tip marker that you can really create nice hair-like strokes in your brows. Also waterproof. So perfect brows, got to be this, waterproof. My brows aren't going anywhere, they're stuck down. So that is my favorite combo recently. For primer, if I were to pick only one primer, I need a pore filling primer. I could just simply use my moisturizer if I wanted an all over moisturizer, which I always do before applying makeup because it's important for my face to be hydrated, and that's like the most important part. For a traditional primer that I feel like actually does something, I would choose this Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer because it does the best job at filling in my pores. You guys seen me use this a million times, and I like to just concentrate this on my T-zone. Fantastic for anybody who has pore issue. It's my favorite pore filling primer. And then for the drugstore, my all over primer that I use and love, and I never hear anyone talk about this, and this is amazing. This is a dupe for the Hourglass Veil Primer if you really like that. It is so good, and the packaging is now different than this. So this is old packaging, and I need to re-up on this. But this is the CoverGirl Plus Olay Simply Ageless Anti-Aging Foundation Primer. And this, as I said, dupe for the Hourglass. It feels like a veil on your skin. It truly smooths everything out. It feels amazing. It has anti-aging benefits in it. It's a combination between CoverGirl and Olay, and I just feel like this is the best primer at the drugstore. Like, I would reach for this even over the Hourglass because it is more affordable. It does the exact same thing to me. It has that smoothing effect. Makeup just glides on. I use this today on my face and I just feel super smooth. Absolutely love this. As I said, the packaging has since changed, which I need to purchase another one of. But if you're looking for a good drugstore primer, please check this one out. It is so good and no one ever talks about it. I talk way too much about every product. I just love all these products. Okay, moving on. Concealer. We have the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer, which would be my favorite for high end. You get so much in this. It's comparable to a drugstore price when you break it down. It's just a very good formula. You can use it for a lighter coverage foundation, full coverage foundation. It's very versatile. You can use this for sculpting if you wanted to buy a deeper shade and do that. It's just very multi-use, as it says in the name, and it is my favorite. And the one I would recommend even over drugstore would be this one, number one. And then for the drugstore, I love the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Under Eye Concealer. I love the entire Superstay line. You'll be seeing even more products of these in my video. I love the foundation, the powder, this, you name it. I love this line. I'm using this concealer today underneath my eyes. It is a thicker concealer. Reminds me a lot of Tarte Shape Tape if you like that. Has a doe foot applicator. It really does a good job of filling in the troughs underneath my eyes, brightening, and just overall covering anything I need covered. It just has full coverage and is my favorite from the drugstore. So if you like a thicker kind of consistency to your concealer and you like Tarte Shape Tape, this I feel like is the best dupe, even though it has a way different packaging. It is exactly the same to that in my opinion. Foundation, another thing that will not be shocking to you. Probably can guess both of these. So for high end, I would pick the Urban Decay Stay Naked Weightless Liquid Foundation. And I love this because it lasts a long time, makes my skin look super smooth. It's very thin and it doesn't look cakey. Then I also like the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear. Full coverage just like this. It is thin. It lasts forever on my skin. This one is slightly more perfecting. This one is more affordable. And I run out of this super quick just because it's so liquidy. This one's just my go-to every day. I know I'm going to have a good makeup day when I wear this. I mixed the two today, which I probably shouldn't have done because it's definitely not my color, but I just wanted to show you the products on my face in this video, even though I definitely should have used a darker, more warm tone foundation because I definitely do not match today. But in terms of the finish, the effect it gives my skin, you can see that it's full coverage, looks super smooth. It doesn't flatten me out any, and it's just a really beautiful foundation. So I highly recommend both of these. I'd pick this one up over some high-end foundations, but my favorite foundation of all time would have to be the Urban Decay. For powder, I personally would have both a pressed and a loose option in my makeup collection, regardless of doing YouTube or not. I would still bake sometimes. I'd still want a light, loose powder just to dust all over. You will see why for the powders that I'm going to recommend. So I'm going to start off with pressed, which right now I don't actually have the one full size of because I want to use up this baby. You would have seen this in my last video. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Face Powder in the shade 2. This is the most beautiful, creamy, light, smoothing powder you will ever use, and that is why it's my favorite. And if you were looking for a drugstore affordable dupe, does exactly like the Charlotte Tilbury but has more coverage, I would recommend, and I would personally purchase, the Maybelline Superstay Full Coverage Powder Foundation. Up to 16-hour wear. I'm wearing this on my face today. Smooths everything out, locks it down. You can wear this on its own. You can wear it over top of foundation for even more coverage. It honestly is the best powder foundation I have ever used. If you use the Makeup Forever one, I'd pick this over that. It is such good coverage and it just works with my skin. Super smoothing, which I like. Have it in a couple colors. I would 100% always repurchase that. That's why I haven't repurchased the Charlotte Tilbury, to be quite honest. I love that for high end, but drugstore, I just love it just as much as that. So I have no desire to pick that one up right away when I have my Maybelline still in use. So that is a drugstore product. Highly recommend. So much Maybelline, but they kill it for me for drugstore. Which again, we're going for Maybelline for a loose powder. So we have the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I'm sure you've heard a ton of people talk about this before. It is such a good loose powder. If you like to bake, if you like a smooth finish, some coverage to it, I would recommend this. It does run dark, in my opinion. I have the shade light, and it's definitely more of a medium, in my opinion. I have this underneath my eyes right now, and it is a beautiful loose powder. Once I run out of that, I definitely repurchase it again. It's my favorite loose powder at the drugstore. And then I have a bunch of little minis of this. I try and use up my products, guys, so I haven't repurchased this, even though it is my favorite loose powder for high end. It is the Hourglass Translucent Setting Powder. I have a ton of little minis of this. Every time they would have one on Sephora, I would go and pick one up because it's my favorite powder. So why not get it for free instead of buying it? So this gives the most beautiful effect on the skin. I've been using also my YSL. This one has a little more glow to it, and the YSL has more coverage. I use both of them interchangeably. Some people are having a hard time finding the YSL. The Hourglass is one that is super light, doesn't add any coverage to the skin, just sets it, but without flattening your skin. So it gives the most beautiful glow, but it is quite pricey for the amount of product you get. That's the only downside of it. And there's a ton of other beautiful options out there that I feel like are just as good. But when it comes down to it, if I were to really curate my makeup collection, that's the loose powder I would love to have on hand. For bronzer, I also don't find this shocking. So for high end, I would have the Marc Jacobs Omega Bronze in Tantastic. This used to be limited edition, but it's now permanent item, which is amazing. And mine is almost a brand new one because I've used up an entire one of this, which is actually quite hard to do. The pan size in this is humongous. It is so worth your money, even though Marc Jacobs is pricey. Just the sheer amount of product you get with these bronzers is 100% worth it, in my opinion. The color of Tantastic is beautiful. It's perfect. It's neutral, but you can use it to bronze or contour. It's just very versatile, and if I were only pick one, it would definitely be this. Then from the drugstore, I have a little bit of this on my skin right now. It is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. Definitely need to pick up a darker shade because this was a little light for me, so I had to mix it with something else. This is just the shade Bronzer. I've also hit pan on this. If you're looking for a really good drugstore bronzer, even though Physicians Formula can be kind of pricey, in my opinion, I would go this route. This is my favorite one at the drugstore, and they have since come out with a bunch more colors. The formula is beautiful. It is scented, but so is the Marc Jacobs. I find the scent goes away after a while though, because I can't really smell them now. But those are definitely my two favorite and what I would like to keep in my makeup collection. And then I also wanted to include some contour products because I don't contour that often. I usually do like a bronze contour, but still as a makeup lover, I feel like it would be essential for me to have. And number one, I would have the Dior Backstage Contour Palette. I use this for eyeshadow. I use this to contour. This mostly for eyeshadow, to be quite honest, is what I would use on a daily basis. And then to get that monochromatic look, I would use it all over the face as well. So in the eyes, on the face, and it's just the perfect tones for me. This is beautiful for brightening up underneath my eye. And it's just a really pretty formula. I would definitely repurchase this if I ever ran out. And then for the drugstore, this is amazing, great bang for your buck, super smooth and creamy, just like high end. You put this in my hand, minus the packaging. You put this in my hand in the formula, I would not know this was drugstore and so affordable because the formula of this is super creamy. Just touching this in the Dior, I can't even tell the difference between that powder right there. So this is the shade Dulce de Leche, and I love the contour. It's not too cool, but cool enough. And this for underneath the eye, oh my goodness, does a beautiful job at smoothing everything out. It is so pretty. Again, as I said, I can't honestly tell the difference between formulas of these. So if you ever wanted to try the Dior, but it's out of your budget, check out the Wet n Wild. It is beautiful, perfect for contour and for highlighting, smoothing everything out. Just an amazing, amazing formula. For blush, when it came down to it, I decided to pick my Natasha Denona Love Glow cheek palette, just so that I could play with it. I'm just kidding. I actually really like the formula, but it just so happens to have the coolest packaging ever. Like, come on. So I would pick this because not only do I have a cream blush, I also have powder to put on top and some highlights to really make my cheek glow. If I could wear this kind of cheek every day of my life, I would. Like, this is my perfect cheek right here. Glowy, beautiful, has that cream to make the powder more long wearing. The cream color is my favorite out of everything. That is my perfect kind of color for the cheeks. Gives you that beautiful kind of sunburned, sun-kissed look to your skin. It's a beautiful undertone for me. It's just honestly perfection right there. And that is why I decided to pick this, because it is perfect. Literally perfect. And then for the drugstore, they do have some creams out there, but I wanted to go traditional for a powder. And for this launch, this is what I've loved ever since it came out. And it is from L'Oreal. It's from their Paradise Enchanted collection. This is a scented blush, which I can barely smell now. The scent's kind of going away. It's what I'm wearing on my cheeks right now. And I just love these blushes. They had a bunch of other colors that I really enjoyed. One that I used to like more than this, but for whatever reason, I'm on this just peachy color kick. And this just, it gives a glow to your skin, so you don't actually need any highlight. And I love a blush that gives a glow. I love to look healthy and not flat. I do think there's a time and a place for a matte blush. However, I'm more the type to go for a glow to my blush. So this has that subtle satin glow, which is my perfect kind of skin finish, is the satin. So I would highly recommend this, and even the other blushes that they have in this line. If you haven't checked them out yet, probably limited edition, so I'd definitely go and check those out before they're gone. Then highlights. I said I would sort my stuff out, and I haven't yet. Well, I have my drugstore one picked out. So let's go there first. So for drugstore, hands down, I would pick this. It's what I'm wearing on my skin right now. It is from Wet n Wild, and it's in the shade I'm So Lit. It is a loose highlighter, so I find it a little bit harder to use or travel with if you happen to travel a lot. But for me, I like it because it's going to last me absolutely forever. And for the price, I think this was $5. You get so much. Like, I'm never going to run out of this. So it's perfect for the drugstore. It's very similar to Benefit Cookie Highlight if you like that kind of highlight. As I said, it's what I'm wearing on my skin right now. So it's like a light champagne, and it's very intense. So if you want a very intense highlight, this is my favorite from the drugstore. And then for highlights, I'm going to show you my three, but I'm going to pick one right now. So right now, these are the ones that I'm debating between. My Dior palette, Hourglass, and then my Charlotte Tilbury. I'm honestly going to go Hourglass on this one. This was limited edition, however. It did come back recently. I think they might still have it on Sephora because they did re-promote this. and I hope they still do. But if they don't, you see my other options. So I'm just throwing that out there. So this would have to be my favorite. It is the most beautiful, intense highlight, but subtle. It's intense but subtle because it just melts into your skin and gives you the most beautiful glow. Honestly, this is the best formula for highlight for me. And I love that it came in this little palette. You can mix all the shades together. You have something more bronzy, warm, yellow gold, and like a pinky shade. It just has my perfect kind of colors in there. I mostly just mix them all together. Unless I want something super intense, will I just go with like the pink or the yellowy one. But they are so smooth and blinding. I just absolutely love the formula. You can blend it out. They just look wet on the skin. It's like the perfect formula. But again, if this is out of stock, these have similar types of formulas to that. But if I had to pick, I would go this way. And it's called the Ambient Metallic Strobe Lighting Palette. And this Hourglass should never have made limited edition. So I hope they make this permanent because it honestly was the best highlight formula they have done. Then to set the face, I would always pick Urban Decay All Nighter. This has been a ride or die for me for years and years. I use this on my wedding day. It's the only thing that I would trust to really lock down my makeup and truly make it last all day and all night, if you so chose. And then for the drugstore, I love the Catrice Cosmetics Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray. It's what I have on my skin right now. It does provide a dewy glow. It has this like pink iridescent in it. If you can see, you really got to shake this up before you use it, but you don't see any kind of flecks on the skin because I've tried other kind of dewy sprays with the shimmer in it like this, and you can definitely see particles on your skin. This is super fine and you don't see anything. It just provides you with the best sort of glow possible. So I would definitely pick this one, even though it doesn't have any kind of wear properties to it. Even so, I would pick this one. Just have that glow. You need something that lasts and you need some glow. You need both of them. At least I do. Eyes and lips, and we're almost done. Let's start off with mascara. And for mascara, for high end, I would have to pick the NARS Climax mascara. Have a little baby guy of this because as soon as I see one of my favorites in a sample, I buy it. Or I don't buy it. I get it free, but you know, that draws me in. This has the best brush, the best formula to ever exist. It is my perfect mascara. And for the drugstore, this is quite similar to it. The brush isn't as nice in my opinion, but it still provides very, very full lashes, which I like. I love volume more than length. It still provides some length, but just insane volume without going all over the place, flaking or smudging. Both of these last on my eyes without going everywhere and transferring, which I hate. So this is the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Uncensored. I actually picked this over the L'Oreal Lash Paradise just because I was using both side by side, and in the end for drugstore, I would have to pick this. And this was my last year 2019 Best in Beauty mascara was this one, but for high end, favorite formula, favorite brush ever is the NARS Climax. For lashes, I would hands down pick my Lashaholics Ellie lashes. Stephanie, Babs Beauty, got me hooked on these lashes. Honestly, I cannot put these down. These are my favorite lashes ever. Like if I were to only pick one lash for the rest of my life, would be these. From the drugstore, any Kiss lash, honestly, for me, but my most used, and I'm wearing them right now, and they're fairly natural because I cut them in half. I wanted like a half lash today, and they are the Pixie 02. They're the blowout lash. I've used all of them in here already. I use these all the time. This package is just so dirty and messed up. So I have those on my eyes right now, though I did cut them in half. So they are a half lash right now, but you can kind of get the effect that it would have. It just be a little bit longer in the inner corner. And they're just super natural for me. Really great for like an everyday sort of makeup for me, but they do give enough drama to be dramatic for more dramatic makeup. But I wanted a more natural lash and I wanted something more dramatic. So that's why I picked those two, one from the drugstore and one high-end, because I personally need both. I like these because I can use them as half lashes, use them as a natural full set, or I can use those Lashaholics Ellie as my just bam out there lash. Eyeshadow palettes. Honestly, I probably wouldn't pick one from the drugstore if I'm being completely honest, and I would only pick this one every single time. It is the Be Perfect Cosmetics Carnival XL Pro palette. This has everything I could possibly need in it, plus more. It has highlights, which I have been absolutely loving lately. So I get the best of both worlds in here. I can use more highlight formula that I get in this palette, but the eyeshadows are so good. And I feel like my makeup lover self would just have so much fun with this because I would have my colors but also my neutrals in here. So it just gives me a whole world of options to use, and the formula is great. Easy to blend, easy to work with. They pretty much blend themselves, and I can just create a whole array of looks using that one palette. I have recently bought the e.l.f. bite-size palettes. I heard those are really good. So I'm actually trying to find some drugstore eyeshadows that I really like. So right now, if I had to choose, I would pick the L'Oreal Paradise Enchanted Scented Eyeshadow Palette. Same with that blush collection. This came out, I was obsessed with this collection. And I'm wearing this on my eyes today, just a super simple look, but they're very easy to blend and just melt into the skin. So that is why I would pick this. I just think the color story in this is absolutely beautiful, right up my alley. A neutral palette, but it has some peaches, some shimmers, just the perfect matte colors in here as well. It would be made even better with a black, but I just like how soft glam this is for a drugstore palette. So that would be my pick for drugstore. For eyeliner, I honestly wouldn't even bother with pen or liquid. I would just get a pencil. Doesn't even matter to me from drugstore, so I'm just going to mention one, which is from Estee Lauder, and it's a dual-ended pencil. This is so old, but I would just find something like this because this is honestly all I would need. Have a black side and a cream. I wouldn't even go brown. I would just do the black and cream on both sides and I would be good to go. Honestly, that's all I really use. So that's what I would get, a dual-ended with those colors on it. I'd be set. Wouldn't even need to worry about anything else for eyeliner. And then for lip products, I do prefer a traditional bullet lip. However, I do have a liquid lip for my high-end pick. And in all honesty, this is where I would go off the deep end, I think, because I tried limiting, well, I did. I limited one per category. So one lipstick, one lip gloss, one lip pencil, one lip balm. And that's all I did. However, for lipstick, I would totally have like every single color I possibly could. I would need, at the very least, I would need a red, a coral, a pink, and a beige. At the very, very least. And the red would be like an orangey red. But I did cut myself off and just give you my absolute favorite. But if I'm being honest, like the lips would just go wild. They would have to, because I feel like that's how you can really change up a look, is just switch up your lip color, because I'm pretty boring on my eyes, but I love to wear different color lips. So starting with my lip color of choice, this is my most used lip color ever, and it's the Dose of Colors Liquid Lipstick in Sand. It is the perfect beige nude. And I have found other colors in a traditional bullet lipstick that I like. I love a beige. Like that looks like sand. And I like a really light nude because I like to manipulate the color with a lip pencil, which you will see. So that is sand. And then from the drugstore, I really like the matte lipsticks that Maybelline does. And they have a ton of different like brownie nude type shades. So I like Hot Sand, though honestly, I would go with any of this formula of lipstick from the drugstore from Maybelline. I love these lipsticks. When I was going through all my lip products, these are the only ones I really kept because this is the only thing I really ever used. So that is Hot Sand. You can tell, even lighter than Sand from Dose of Colors, and coincidentally has the word sand in it. So apparently I just like sand lips. But these colors are just perfect for me because I can lighten any kind of lipstick and manipulate the color with a lip pencil. You can do like any color and really play it up. It's just the most versatile, you know what I mean? So that's why I picked those. And then for my lip pencil, I love Dior Jungle Brown. I don't even think they carry this anymore on Sephora Canada. They still do, I believe, on the US Sephora. Or maybe it's the other way around. But this is my everyday perfect color because this is the closest color to my natural lips. So that's why I feel like I can get a very natural overline lip look with that. And then for the drugstore, I absolutely love the Rimmel London Lasting Finish 1000 Kisses Stay On Lip Contouring Pencils. They remind me of MAC lip pencils, but for the fraction of the price. So they are not a very creamy formula. They are that pencil formula. But I have the shade Cafe au lait. But that is the color right there, just a beautiful brown. And that's personally what I really like. It also has a little bit of a reddish tone to it. I really wanted to throw MAC Spice in here too. However, these are what I settled with, and that would be my perfect kind of lip pencils. One that's more close to my lip color, and then one that I can truly just create like an ombre and really deepen up any lip color. So that would be bare minimum, absolute bare minimum for me. And then for lip gloss, these are my two most used. And I don't even know if I would consider this high-end, but you can get it from Sephora, and it is their Outrageous Plump Effect Lip Gloss in number 2. I use this all the time. It's not that pricey, but I'm putting it in my high-end category because you have to get it at Sephora. Most beautiful milky color, like a beigey brown color, slightly pink, but not too much. My perfect kind of color. I use that with everything, plus it's plumping. And then from the drugstore, I go on and on about these glosses, but it's from e.l.f. Also plumping. Theme here, I want a plumping gloss if I were to pick glosses. And this is in Champagne Glam. I've gotten so many people on to this color. It's very similar to a lot of high-end glosses that have come out after that have this like clear base with gold shimmer in it. And it doesn't have too much pigment, but it has that kind of reflect in it. Makes your lips look super big and juicy, and it's just honestly the best gloss there is. And it's drugstore, it's e.l.f. It's super affordable, so 100% would repurchase that. I have backups of this. I think I purchased like 2 because I thought it was limited edition. I don't think it is, but I have backups of that gloss. And then for lip balm, for lip balm, and this is the last product that I will be featuring in my makeup collection if I wasn't a beauty guru. And this is the Jouer Essential Lip Enhancer Conditioning Lip Treatment. This is the only lip balm I use, and well, it's not the only one. I use the Laneige at night, but I would only pick this one for high-end. I've talked about this forever and ever. So it just has this milky pink, very light pink color to it. So it just gives a slight tint to your lips, but this truly works at making my lips better. So that is why I pick it, and only this for my lip balm. If I was forced to choose drugstore, I would probably pick Aquaphor, maybe, but honestly this, I don't use anything else. You guys know I don't use anything else but this. So this is my lip balm of choice forever and ever. It just works for me. Why change a good thing? That is my entire makeup collection if I wasn't a beauty guru or YouTuber. Yes, mine personally would be more than this because first and foremost, I'm a beauty lover, but I do understand the whole concept of this video and people wanting to see a more curated collection of mine. So that is what this whole video entails, is just a very curated collection. And I hope you guys appreciate that I did both high-end and drugstore because I feel like it's important to have options regardless of price. Hope you found some things to check out in this video that are my favorites, and I recommend all these products. They are the best of the best to me. If I'm to only pick these in one category, they gotta be something special for me. So that is it. Let me know what your favorite products are in the comments below. How would your makeup collection change if you didn't watch YouTube? Because I know I'm highly influenced by other people on YouTube. If YouTube never was a thing, I wouldn't have nearly as much from watching YouTube, not from being a YouTuber. I feel like if you watch a lot of YouTube, that is actually more effective than actually being a YouTuber, if you know what I mean. I'm going off on a tangent now. But that is it. So yeah, that is it. I had so much fun filming this video and I don't even want it to end. So I just keep rambling after a 40-minute video that I need to edit down. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed already, definitely hit that red button down below, the bell if you want to be notified of all my future videos, and I will see you guys in my next video.